Before we begin, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel for more real, emotional stories like this and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you would have done in my situation. It started with a message I wish I'd never seen. My phone buzzed while I was at work. I glanced down expecting a routine notification, but instead I froze. It was from one of her friends. "She's picking him tonight, she's going back to her ex." I'm sorry. I couldn't breathe. I stared at the screen, my hand trembling. My wife, my partner, the woman I had loved for years, was choosing someone else over me. Her ex, someone from her past. Someone she had once loved and apparently never stopped thinking about. First, I questioned myself. Had I done something wrong? Was I too busy, too distant? Had I failed her somehow? My mind went back over every argument, every slight misunderstanding, every quiet moment I had thought was harmless. Maybe I had missed the signs. Maybe I had imagined our happiness. The weeks leading up to that night had been subtle but unsettling. She was texting less or more, always sneaking glances at her phone when I entered the room. Missed calls that she said were accidental. Sudden evenings out she couldn't fully explain. Even the way she laughed, sometimes too loud, sometimes hiding her smile behind a hand, made me uneasy. I tried to tell myself it was nothing, that I was overthinking. But then there were the small discoveries. A message left open on her laptop, an email deleted too quickly to be accidental, names in her phone I didn't recognize. Each tiny clue added weight to a suspicion I didn't want to admit. She was slipping away. The night she left, I sat on the couch, heart pounding, waiting for her to come home. When she walked in, I could see the satisfaction in her eyes, the smugness of someone confident in her choice. She expected tears, a plea, begging, something to show she had hurt me. But I felt nothing, at least nothing she expected. I said quietly, "So you're leaving?" She blinked. Then, as if to provoke me, she smiled. "Yes, I'm going back to him. You'll understand someday." I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I didn't try to stop her. I just nodded. My silence hit her harder than any words I could have said. She had built up this fantasy in her mind, that I would grovel, that I would fight, that I would abase myself for her attention. And I didn't. For a moment the room was heavy with unspoken words. My thoughts swirled. Memories of quiet nights, laughter, shared dreams. All now tainted by the knowledge that she could choose someone else so easily. Every kiss I had given, every promise I had made, every laugh we shared now felt like a fragile illusion. In the following days, the emotional fallout was intense. I replayed every memory, looking for the hidden cracks I hadn't noticed. The dinners where she seemed distant, the texts she hid, the times I thought she was joking but now seemed like hints of something deeper. I questioned not just her but myself. Had I been blind? Too trusting? Too naive? But slowly I realized something important. My love for her was strong, yes, but my self-respect was stronger. I had loved her openly, honestly, completely. And in return, she had made a choice that didn't include me. My silence that night wasn't weakness, it was dignity. It was recognition that I deserved more than betrayal, more than disrespect, more than a love given without reciprocity. Eventually, I confronted her, not with anger but with quiet calm. She seemed ready to justify herself, to explain why she was drawn back to the past. She spoke of old feelings, unfinished business, comfort, nostalgia. I listened, absorbing her words, seeing the guilt flicker in her eyes. But I didn't argue. I didn't plead. I only said, "I loved you completely. I wanted to build a life with you. But you've made your choice. I respect it. And I respect myself enough not to beg." Her expression shifted, from shock to frustration, and then to a subtle understanding. She realized, perhaps too late, that some things couldn't be undone. Trust, once broken in that way, leaves scars, and some boundaries once crossed cannot be rebuilt. In the weeks that followed, I focused on myself. I spent time with friends, with family, and in reflection. I learned to see the strength in my silence, the clarity in walking away, and the dignity in refusing to fight for someone who had chosen another path. The heartbreak lingered, yes, but it became a lesson rather than a prison. I thought often about what could have been. I mourned the future we had imagined together. But I also celebrated the strength I found in myself. The ability to love without losing myself, the courage to face betrayal without lowering my standards, and the clarity to know that silence can speak louder than any cry. Looking back, the story isn't just about betrayal. It's about knowing your worth, honoring your boundaries, and understanding that love is only valuable when it is mutual, when respect walks hand in hand with affection. My silence that night wasn't emptiness, it was power. It was the acknowledgement that I could survive heartbreak and still emerge whole. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to my channel for more raw, emotional stories and share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear how you faced betrayal, heartbreak, or the moments when your silence spoke louder than words ever could.